My name is Natalie Howard, and I'm 46 years old. When I was married, my last name was Campbell, but now I'm divorced. I was known as Natalie Campbell 18 years ago when I was 28 years old. My then husband, Steve Campbell, was 30, and our daughter, Rita Campbell, was just 5. But during our marriage, I couldn't say I was truly happy. Rita was diagnosed with cancer, and it caused a rift in our marriage.
Damn, why does my daughter have cancer? Having such a weak person come from my family, what a shame. It's all because you didn't pay enough attention to her diet. And now she's received a terminal diagnosis. How terribly did you raise her? There's no worse mother than you anywhere. No matter how much I earn, it all goes to medical bills. When I have no time for myself, you're just napping at home, aren't you? My mom used to say we're isolated in the neighborhood because of the failed wife and granddaughter you've given me. It's your fault the Campbell family is facing this disaster. It's all your fault. Don't think pretending to cry will help. I'm not fooled by such cheap drama.
Steve would rant and then leave the house. Was he going to work or to his mistress's place? I was kind of aware of it. When Rita was diagnosed with cancer, Steve quickly found another woman.
I work for Rita too. What's this about a weak person? Cancer can strike anyone, you fool. You lack not only medical knowledge, but even common sense. Just because you're somewhat elite, you keep making these nasty comments. So annoying, what a terrible man.
Muttering to myself, I got ready and headed to the office. That night, I was exhausted from work, but Steve didn't bother with dinner. He was lounging on the sofa, laughing loudly at the TV.
Hey, where have you been? Where's my dinner? Why didn't you prepare it? You're the reason I'm so tired. Hurry up, you useless wife. A failure of a wife.
While I was silently preparing dinner, Steve unusually came close to me.
We're getting divorced. Actually, my beloved Mandy is pregnant. It's my child, and it's a healthy boy. So, this is the end for us. Be thankful for the times we had, and here, sign these divorce papers.
I wasn't sad. Rather, I felt that the inevitable had finally arrived. After I calmly signed the divorce papers, Steve quickly packed his things and left. Thus, 18 years ago, I was driven out of the Campbell family and returned to my parental home. And now I've coincidentally run into Steve again at a large shopping mall. It had been 18 years, so when I saw Steve with a baby, I was shocked. But he seemed to remember me as he approached with a smirk.
Hey, is that kid still alive? Look, a grandkid. I'm blessed with children and wealth.
I too will introduce my company, worth $150 million, celebrating its 18th year on the market, and my daughter's family.
What?
Steve was stunned, but then sneered again.
Come on, are you just bitter because your daughter died? It's okay, you don't need to pretend. Your dad's company went bankrupt, right? You don't need to boast. Or is it, are you just too jealous of other people's happiness, so you say these things out of desperation? I never thought you were such a low woman. It's okay, I can lend you some money. Oh, did I just say that because I have this grandkid? If you apologize now, I might still forgive you. Look at this Alto, a large shopping mall. If you're associated with such a grand facility, I'd kneel and apologize for the divorce. but your company couldn't possibly compete with this Alto, the biggest in the Manhattan area, right?
Smirking, Steve started rambling on, unaware of whom he was talking to. Alto is the nickname for this large shopping mall we're in. It's a hot spot, known throughout the country as the biggest shopping center in Manhattan. Are you just leisurely shopping with that grandkid or something? I deliberately provoked him. Then Steve's face darkened. He's still the same man, weak against petty provocations.
Yeah, so what? What happened to that kid, Rita? Whether she's alive or not, it's none of my business, right? In the end, you're just no charm, no friendliness, just unpleasant. My wife, Mandy, she's still a lovely and amiable woman. You're my complete opposite, polar opposite, yet you're so stuck up, it's infuriating. You can't genuinely accept others' happiness. What a miserable woman.
Look, you can say whatever about me, but that baby, what? About 6 months old now. How can you spout such vitriol with a child around? Kids pick up on everything. Isn't it time you stopped belittling and bad-mouthing people? It's harmful to the child, but I suppose you wouldn't understand, to you. Putting others down is a hobby, isn't it? At the time of our divorce, you were the one with a lover. Shouldn't you be grateful I didn't ask for alimony? I smirked confidently, which seemed to ignite Steve's fury.
What did you say? Forget it. I can claim it now, right? I have this adorable grandchild, after all. I get your struggle, though. Your daughter died and your dad's business went bankrupt, right? What's your job now, in the nightlife industry? Have you hit rock bottom? If there's a place that would hire an old hag like you, I'd seriously want to see it. Brainless, charmless, oddly feisty. It'd be tough even to find a company willing to hire you, wouldn't it? Or is it the case that you're living off welfare? I guess it's easier for someone single, huh? Since you can earn your keep, might as well.
How about you leave it at that? I cut Steve off, producing my business card. Sorry for the late introduction. I'm Natalie Howard, owner of the Alto facility here.
What? No way, even for boasting.
I was abandoned by you 18 years ago, along with our sick daughter, Rita, in the worst possible way, but it was for the best since I was fed up with you. As you know, my father's company was small and struggling to get by. Still, I supported my father and took care of him. He worked from dawn till dusk without sparing time to sleep. You probably didn't know, but he even canceled his life insurance to cover Rita's medical expenses. Sure, my father has passed away, but until his last moments, he was worried about his granddaughter. You wouldn't understand someone who doesn't get the struggles of others. Now, through various connections, I'm the owner of Alto, a large commercial facility here. Oh, and Rita, whom you think is dead, has fully recovered and is married into a prominent Manhattan real estate family. She didn't marry someone like you, so I believe she made a good match.
A prominent real estate family in Manhattan? Rita married into such a family. Are you delusional? People don't believe small lies but believe big ones, some cartoonist said, and it's exactly like that. It's pitiful how much you're boasting. I was foolish to even think of helping you a little. I've truly married a foolish woman. This business card, flaunting as you are, lacks credibility. Even if I tear it up and throw it away, it's not worth picking up. After all this time, such pitiful delusions. Are you living that miserably? I could lend you some money. Here, I'll scatter some coins. Pick them up and count each one.
What are you talking about? Rita's cancer was indeed at an intermediate stage, but changing doctors led to her full recovery. Do you get that struggle? After we separated, my father's company grew significantly. Don't you know Dolgu? Impossible you don't. Given your love for brand names, you wouldn't miss out on something new.
Dolgu, the globally acclaimed brand. Have you lost your mind? Dolgu indeed appeared suddenly 18 years ago, and you're claiming to be associated with Dolgu and Alto. You think I'd believe such a story? You scammer.
Dolgu is the brand my father and I worked hard to create. I am the CEO. He retired. It started as a small company. There was only one physical store in a rural area, but we managed through tough times with someone's help. You must know about this.
Yes, I know. The Dolgu brand spread when a world-famous soprano singer noticed it and favored it on social media, leading to its success. Now it's a hit among college students.
Exactly, I said, with a triumphant smile. Thanks to that soprano, our company has seen significant growth. Everything sells out immediately, no matter how much we produce. We can't keep up. Waiting 6 months for a product reservation has become the norm. Not just Dolgu, other brands we stock have also become famous. The word got out to the influential landowners in Manhattan, and I was invited to become the owner of this large commercial facility. Alto, it's none of your business, though, right? After all, you abandoned your wife and daughter for your mistress, and here at Alto.
Lies. Alto is a massive commercial facility where you can find anything: groceries, food, furniture, electronics, a cinema, indoor playgrounds, a library, a food court, and even Instagram-worthy spots. There's no way someone useless like you could manage that. Or is this business card also a lie? Such a Cinderella story. It's only in fairy tales. Have you lost your mind? Even I feel sorry for you. It's also a popular tourist destination, and students from Manhattan flock here, yet you claim to be the owner. Rita is gone, isn't she? That's what delusional women think.
What are you talking about? Rita is very much alive. My company's success has been a great example for her. She's always been grateful to me, her mother, and she's turned out to be a wonderful daughter. She's been influenced positively by me, worked incredibly hard, and studied relentlessly. And what do you think happened? She graduated top of her class from a prestigious British university, even skipping grades, and she remains my pride and joy. Rita now works with my company, and after learning about her, the head of the Manhattan land-owning family approached her for marriage. You probably don't even know the name of Rita's university, do you? Hey you, who flanked out of a third-rate college twice. And just so you know, Rita is now pregnant, expecting a boy suitable to be an heir. Though, nowadays, it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or a girl for inheritance, but you seem to care a lot about that, don't you?
You bastard!
Steve yelled, silencing the room instantly.
It's a lie. It has to be. Hey, isn't there a security guard around? There's a scammer here. Someone catch her.
Suddenly, Steve was shouting as if he'd lost his mind. The baby, grandkid or something, he was holding started to cry. The stares from other customers were harsh. but I couldn't bother about that now. Then 3 security guards arrived.
Mrs. Howard, is everything all right?
Seeing one guard's response, Steve's face turned pale.
Mrs. Howard, hey, security. This woman is a scammer, pretending to be the owner. I'd rather you listen to me than follow such a woman.
I'm sorry for this trouble, but could you please escort this man to the back reception room of Alto? He's getting too agitated and causing a scene. Let's go, I'll join you.
Of course. Come on then.
Wait.
Steve, being taken away by the security guards. With all this commotion, it's bound to reach my daughter's family soon. I had no intention of hiding it, so I called my daughter's father-in-law, Thomas. He's a strict man who hates lies. Given that, I wonder what will become of Steve. After hearing the situation, Thomas said he'd come to the reception room right away.
Natalie, wait. Did you say Steve Campbell? Really?
Oh, yes, that's right. Do you know him?
I'm on my way. Thanks for telling me.
Anyway, letting him out now would only cause more of a scene. I don't want to tarnish the name of Alto. That's why I decided to have him taken to the reception room. 3 security guards took Steve to the back reception room of Alto. Steve seemed reluctant to go to the reception room.
Wait, I won't make a scene anymore. I have my grandchild with me. Please, let me go home. I promise I won't cause any trouble. Please.
Steve's grandchild, refusing something, started bawling. When they finally got Steve to sit on the sofa in the reception room, his face was pale.
Come on, Natalie, let me go home. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'll even pay the alimony from now, so please.
Steve strangely disliked the reception room. Why was he acting like this? While I was wondering, Rita entered the room first.
Hey, oh, is that you, Rita? You've grown, I'm your dad. Come on, Rita, tell Natalie to let me.
Who are you? I was told my father is dead.
Smart Rita coldly eyed Steve, pretending to be her father. Unable to withstand her gaze, Steve finally quieted down.
Come on, Rita, help your dad out.
My real father is no longer exist, you know? Oh, are you my father? The one who left my sick mother and me for his mistress? Well, if you're asking for help, I might just help you. If it's to send you to the coldest place, to jail.
What are you saying? I'm your dad.
Shut up.
Steve shouted, but he couldn't escape from the reception room. With 3 security guards present, it was even less likely. Rita said persistently,
Where's your mistress now? Oh, what's this? Did she run off on you? And this baby you call your grandchild, maybe there's no blood relation after all?
Rita, what do you mean?
I've looked into this trash man before. Turns out his mistress, Mandy, had a son, but with a different father. He unknowingly registered the birth and acknowledged the child, and then the mistress dumped the kid on him and ran away. Isn't it because of your bad karma that you ended up like this? Seems I have a half-brother, but I wonder if his wife really gave birth to his child.
What, Rita?
Stay calm.
We'll take care of the child because it's dangerous.
One of the security guards lifted the baby Steve was holding. Holding a baby without a proper carrier, what was he thinking? What if he had dropped the baby? That thought crossed my mind.
Hey, my grandchild.
We'll return the baby once you calm down.
Please settle down.
Mom, why did you even bring this trash man to the reception room? He's not worth it, and you, as the owner of Alto, must be busy, right?
It's okay. I need to settle things with this person. Rita, did you get in touch with Thomas? Can he come over soon?
He's on his way. Should be here any minute. Oh, here he is.
Hello, Natalie. What's happened?
Thomas, actually, my ex-husband is causing a scene in the store, and I couldn't just hide it, so I had to call you.
Are you, by any chance, Steve Campbell?
With Thomas's remark, the atmosphere changed. Steve's face turned white, as if it were the end of the world. I asked Thomas, "Do you know this man, Thomas?"
Yes, Natalie. You did well to call me. This man committed fraud on my property, and I've been searching for him. Right, Steve Campbell? You haven't forgotten my face, have you? And it seems you've caused some trouble here at Alto, too. How far will you go in mocking people?
No, I was planning to repay the money, really. I've been working towards that.
Thomas, what's this about? How do you know this man? Then, the head of the Manhattan real estate family, at opposite Steve.
Natalie, are you familiar with the legend of gourmet fraud case? Reader, do you know about it? At least by name, right? It was a massive fraud case 2 years ago. Steve Campbell here disappeared after taking money from vendors and participants, promising a festival called the Legend of Gourmet. And yet, he dares to step foot on Alto's land. Quite the audacity, huh, Steve Campbell, you con artist.
No, I intend to repay the money. I was preparing for that. But then, this woman, Natalie, she interfered.
Do you realize how much damage your legend of gourmet fraud caused us? You rotten bastard.
Thomas's scolding was filled with immense force and anger. I was even startled by it. But inside, I was cheering. I'm even grateful that he said so accurately. Then, as if to drive the point home, Rita appealed to Thomas.
Thomas, this man abandoned my mother and me for his mistress, an awful man. My mother's hardship was all because of him. And yet, he hasn't offered a single word of apology.
Rita, that's...
So, you're that despicable, huh? Not only did you trouble us, but you also mistreated your own daughter. A monstrous man, Steve Campbell. If my memory serves me right, you begged for land use permission, promising success. It seems all that was a lie, wasn't it? You were desperate, but was that also a lie? Well, at least the vendors will be relieved if you're arrested here.
Arrested? Please wait, my grandchild is just a baby.
Some shop owners were driven to close their shops in tears because of the damage you caused, and others had to downsize. Despite everyone suffering, you ran off to your mistress, abandoning your wife and child. You're a textbook criminal.
Criminal? I've been actively working to repay. If I get arrested now, I won't be able to make the repayments. Then what about my sincerity and apology?
We don't need an apology from scum like you. Get lost, you fraud. Security, call the police. It might make the evening news if they hurry.
Wait, please. Natalie, I beg you, I'll apologize for everything. Just not arrest, not the police. Come on, I'm your ex-husband. If I get caught, it will tarnish your reputation too. So please, not the police.
Steve clung to me, devoid of any dignity. Just a rotten man. So I told the hesitating security guard with a smile. Call the police. It's fine. I've done nothing wrong.
Natalie, do something.
This lousy father, enough already. Do you know how much my mom suffered? And my grandfather too, he had a hard time until the end. Trying to escape now, what a shameful man.
Your actions led to some shops going bankrupt. Finally, I can end my search.
Indeed. Afterwards, Steve kept interfering with the call, so the security guard had to step out into the corridor. Steve burst into tears. Rita and Thomas scolded Steve until the police arrived. Steve just cried, without a word of apology, which only fueled Rita and Thomas's anger.
Stop crying. Are you even a man? Pathetic. Can't you say sorry?
Rita's right. You fraud. We'll corner you thoroughly. Be prepared.
Later, the police officer and the detective in charge of the Legend of Gourmet fraud case arrived and took Steve and the baby away.
Natalie, really, forgive me. I don't want to go to jail yet. I have a little grandchild.
Hey, keep quiet. You're under suspicion of fraud.
Steve resisted the police quite a bit, but in the end, he hung his head and left the reception room. I thanked Thomas. Thomas, thank you. You've cleared up a lot about the Gourmet Hall fraud case. I feel much better now.
Oh, don't mention it. The success of Alto is all thanks to you, Natalie. And Rita, you two are such a hard-working mother and a daughter. My son is truly lucky to have a wife like her. Leave the Gourmet Hall fraud case to me. I'll make sure to squeeze every penny out of that scoundrel.
Thomas left the reception room with a hearty laugh. I told Rita to sit down.
Oh. Why?
Well, you're not in the safe period of your pregnancy yet, right? It's fine to get angry for me, but it's not good for the baby.
No, Mom, to be able to get back at such a man for you is a once-in-a-lifetime joy. Plus, I don't want you to suffer anymore. I'm sure the baby in my belly understands too.
Rita said, gently stroking her not yet noticeably pregnant belly. Then, Rita and I turned on the TV in the reception room. Breaking news came on. The screen switched from a drama rerun to the news with a male announcer.
We have breaking news. Steve Campbell, a suspect in the Gourmet Hall fraud case and on the run, has been arrested. This case forced many to close their businesses or declare bankruptcy, and the police believe this arrest will help uncover the full extent of the incident.
Just like Thomas said, it really made the evening news.
Yeah. Oh, I should have scolded him more. He made you suffer so much.
The TV showed the police station.
Look. The car carrying Steve Campbell is entering the police station now. This massive fraud case came to light last year, and the police will reveal more details in a press conference.
What a foolish man, really. But well, he'll be going to prison for a while after the trial.
Oh, what do you mean, Rita?
Well, he was already on probation for another case. Probably, he'll get a prison sentence for this Legend of Gourmet fraud case. Anyway, it's none of our business. Let's get back to work, Mom. I'll head home and lie down for a bit.
Did your belly get tight? Are you okay?
I'm fine. This is normal. The obstetrician said everything is going smoothly.
Pregnancy is not to be taken lightly. If anything happens, call me or your husband, okay?
Sure, Mom.
Later, Steve received a guilty verdict. And as Rita mentioned, due to being on probation, he couldn't escape prison. The TV was abuzz with the legend of gourmet fraud case from 2 years ago, including interviews with victims who were driven to close their shops by Steve's deception. The victims unanimously said, "We're glad the culprit was caught," shedding tears. Some indeed had gone bankrupt. No journalists or magazine writers came to me. Probably Thomas was working behind the scenes. Then, my daughter gave birth, and I became a grandmother. The baby boy, born healthy, weighed about 8.8 pounds. Both mother and child were healthy upon discharge, and Thomas was utterly smitten. Rita's husband was also overjoyed, saying, "He's my boy." While continuing to work vigorously, I supported my daughter through her parenting struggles, and occasionally took care of my grandson as a grandmother. I was at the peak of happiness. Then, an unknown number called me. "Hello, who is this?"
"How could you do this?"
"Yes." I listened closely to the phone.
"My ex-husband got convicted because of you. The media has been coming to my place every day."
With that, I realized who it was. The mistress who divorced, Mindy.
"What are you going to do about this? I can't even walk outside now."
"Oh, who was it that pinned another man's child on Steve? What do you call that, I wonder?"
"How do you know that?"
"That's what you call a scumbag, dear. Don't you ever call me again. If you do, blocking your number will be the least of your worries."
"Who do you think you are? I'm the victim here, because of you."
"Well, would that be okay? I could spread the word that you're the woman who stole Steve from me. It won't bother me at all. Then you might not be able to live in the US for a while, right? We Americans loves a good spectacle. You'd be surrounded by curious reporters. It's all karma, you know."
"What are you talking about? Using big words. Come and apologize to me. I'm really struggling here. It's all your fault. I got a letter from Steve saying it's all because of you. Just come and apologize to me. What are you going to do about it?"
"Well, I don't see any reason why I should apologize to you. Who was it that had the affair? Wasn't it you? It's fine. I can call the magazine reporters and tell them everything, both now and from 18 years ago. The only person who will suffer is you. But is that okay with you?" I spoke with persistence and sarcasm, finding it very satisfying. After all, I was getting my revenge after 18 years. The call ended there. Thus, I put an end to the events of 18 years ago and went back